I'd like to try to get to a couple of questions that have come in from our attendees. And again, both of you, if we could have your thoughts on this. I know we've discussed this, but if we could just talk a little bit more. Some of our attendees would like a little bit more specifics in some of these areas. Early in the transaction, credit sensitive rates widely discussed and their status now. So let's talk about that now that the new LIBOR issuance is over. Adam, do you want to start with that one?
Sure. These rates exist and are available, but yeah, and you can use them. But of course, the bank on the other side, if your borrower has to decide it wishes to use them, they've been, I think the word pressured is fair, to stay in the SOFR camp. Initially, B of A, PNC, Citizens, Regions, and several others were all in, and other institutions, you know who's left, were into the SOFR world. I think you'll continue to see the market kind of testing what rates make sense to go use, but they're there and they're usable. And the question is, you know, is the bank comfortable with any regulatory concern, any operational risk, and is you as a borrower better? If you're comparing, I can borrow a term SOFR 30-day or borrow a 1 month Bloomberg's rate BSBY, you should be paying less for BSBY because it protects the bank in a bad time. Whether that's actually true, with whether they, you know that and can use that to your advantage, I think is the relevant question.
Excellent. Les, thoughts from you before we move on?
Yeah, two comments. One, it protects the banks, but if there is a sign of distress, it would hurt the borrower potentially if you use a credit-sensitive rate, if a particular bank is hamstrung. So that's one thing. And then another is that for some of the LIBOR transitions, and at work I've been doing it every week or two in connection with borrowers asking about this. And some banks can't switch. One, you have to switch LIBOR to LIBOR, but if you switch to something else, we may have to re-underwrite the loan, which is not necessarily what. Yeah, I agree with Adam's thumbs down, but that I've heard that from at least one bank.